Okay, guys, we are going to go over your study guide for your semester exam. Number 1, the 7 a.m. temperatures were recorded at major U.S. airports below. Which airport had a temperature less than 3, -3 and 7/100 and greater than -3 and 14/100? So we are looking for something that is in between these two numbers. This would be the same. This would be less than both of them. This would be the same as the lowest, and this is the one that would be in between. So the one that is less than 3.07 and greater than 3.14 would be -3.11 degrees Fahrenheit. While touring a cave, Channing descended, that's a clue, meaning going down, at a rate of 22 feet per hour. 22 feet per hour. What was his change in elevation after 4 hours? So if we're thinking about this going down, after 1 hour, we would go down 22 feet. After 2 hours, we would go down 44 feet. Then we've got 66 feet and then 88 feet. So after 4 hours, we would go down 88 feet, giving us -88 feet because we are going down. Number 3, Lacey ran 4 1/5 miles on a path at the park, so that's a number we would want to circle. Each lap around the path is 3/5 of a mile. So each lap. How many laps did Lacey run? There are a couple ways we could do this. We would need to figure out, first of all, 4 1/5 is equal to how many fifths? So the way that we do that is we would say, okay, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21 fifths. Well, if they went 21 fifths in total, we'd have to figure out how many laps is that. So 1 lap would equal 3/5. 2 laps would equal 6/5. 3 laps would equal 9/5. 4 would equal 12/5. 5 would equal 15/5. 6 would equal 18/5. And then 7 laps would equal 21/5. So the answer would be 7 laps to equal the same amount. Number 4, the chart below shows total yards lost in a season by 4 different football teams due to the quarterback being sacked. Order the teams from the least amount of yards lost to the greatest amount of yards lost. So the way that's worded is a little bit funny. We know that least to greatest means furthest or closest from 0 to furthest from 0. But the way that this is worded, least amount of yards lost. So the people that lost the least would be Texas Tech. And then that would be followed by Texas. Then Baylor. And then Oklahoma. Number 5, which statement does not represent an expression? Remember, an expression is not answered. It's just a word, or it's just a number sentence with no answer. An equal sign means that it is an equation. So if we are looking for the one that is not an expression, it would be the only one that is an equation. Number 6, the Wilsons stop at a restaurant on the way home from the fair. They order 1 hamburger value meal, 4 apples, 2 juices, and 2 pizza value meals. Here's the menu, and they've already put it into an expression. What will be the total cost of the meal? So you could make your own expression if you wanted to figure out the total cost of the meal, or you could use the expression that's down here following your order of operations. So we would start with our parentheses, remembering that you can only do one step at a time, and after you do that one step, you've got a new problem. Then you do the next step, 4 times 2, and then we rewrite the problem. Then you do the next step, 2 times 8, and rewrite the rest of the problem. And then you can follow 8 plus 8, that answer, plus 16, giving you an answer of $32 in total. Again, you could double check your answer using the menu. Mr. Conroe divides 9 liters of Dr. Pepper among 7 students. So he's taking 9 liters, he's dividing it among 7 students. So that means you want to do 9 divided by 7. But if you look at your answer choices, it's looking for which expression. It is not looking for an answer. So you've just got to figure out which of your choices is the same as 9 divided by 7. That's obviously not right. 7 divided by 9 is what this says. And then D says 9 divided by 7. The top number always goes in the box. So the correct answer would be D. Number 8. Vincent buys 7 tickets for a movie. Each ticket costs $6.25. How much does he pay for all 7 tickets? So all together, $6.25 times 7 tickets. So you'd have to multiply, or you could do a repeated addition, but that might take you a little bit longer. Giving you $43.75 total. Number 9. Mrs. Bates sells bookmarks for $2 each to raise money to purchase new library books. So far, she has collected a total of $220. Which equation below would solve for B, the amount of bookmarks that have been sold? So we know that it's $2 each. That's a clue that tells us to multiply. So we would want to do 2 times however many bookmarks would equal $220. That would be represented by equation C, because it's saying 2 times the bookmarks equals a total of $220. Number 10. Gavin records the expression below, 7 times y. Lane wrote an equivalent expression below, y times 7. Which property explains why the expressions that Gavin and Lane wrote are equivalent? That would be the commutative property, because the commutative property says that you can switch the order of things and still get the same answer. Let's pretend that y equaled 2. 7 times 2 equals 14, and the same would work here if you switched it around. 2 times 7 equals 14. That's what the commutative property is. Number 11. Which situation is best represented by the integer -20? So we're looking for a clue word that is representing something that's going down or becoming less. Letter A says Colton has 20 times as much candy as Louie. That would be something that would be increasing. Zane bought 20 items at the store. That would be increasing because Zane is getting more items. Benny evenly split the pizza among 20 people. Well, that's being decreased and 20 is being divided. Michelle went down 20 flights of stairs. Well, she went down, and that would be represented by a negative integer. So the correct answer would be D. Number 12. Write the coordinates of points A through F on the graph. Remember that we always go X first, then Y. So left and right first, up and down second. So we would follow the line over to find A. We'd have to go over 2 spaces and up 7 spaces. So we would say 2, 7. Letter B, we'd have to go left 4 spaces over to -4, and then we'd have to go up to +6. Letter D, we'd have to go left to -3, and then we'd have to go down to -3, so -3, 3. Letter E, we would go up and down, or left and right 0, and up 2. And then letter F, we'd go over 7, and then we'd go down 5. Number 13, find the value of the expression below using your order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, addition or subtraction. So we see that there's parentheses. That's our first step. 7 minus 5 equals 2. And then we rewrite the rest of the problem. Now that there are no parentheses, our next step would be to solve the exponents. This means 3 times 3 equals 9. And then we write the rest of the problem. Next step would be to multiply So 2 times 9 is 18. And then our final step would be to add. Number 14. Julie and her 5 friends earned $432 at a bake sale. They agreed to split, that's a clue, the profits evenly among them. So Julie and her 5 friends is also important information because that means we've got 6 people that are sharing this profit. How much money do they get? So we've got $432 divided by 6 people because Julie is getting part of the profit. 6 goes into 43 7 times, which is 42. Subtract and bring down. 6 goes into 12 twice, and there will be nothing left over, even though we could bring it down just to check, leaving us with $72 per person. Number 15. Which expression is equivalent to 3 divided by 1/5? Well, we know that whenever we divide fractions, we are going to multiply by the reciprocal. So that means that we would keep the first fraction the same, and then we would multiply by the reciprocal. Keep, change, flip. If we look at our options, correct answer would be choice D, because dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. Number 16. What is the prime factorization of 156? Again, it doesn't matter what factors you start off with. Everybody will end up with the same answers at the end. So I know that 3 goes into 156, and it goes in 52 times. 3 is prime, so I circle it so I don't forget it in my answer. 52 is even, so I can do 2 times 26. And then 26 can be 2 times 13. And then 13 is prime, so we've got 2 squared times 3 times 13 as our final answer. Number 17. Students voted for their favorite type of restaurant. The table shows the fraction voting for each restaurant type. Order the fractions from least to greatest. So we want to put them in order from least to greatest. Well, in this case, all of the numerators are 1, so that's pretty easy to do. But just for practice, let's say that the numerators were not all the same, and we'd need a common denominator. A common denominator here would be 12, because all the denominators would go into 12. Then we'd have to say 2 times 6 gives us 12, so this would be equal to 6/12. This would be equal to 2/12, and this would be equal to 3/12. Now that our denominators are the same, it's easy to put them in the correct order. 1/12, followed by 2/12, followed by 3/12, and then 6/12. So it would be Mexican food would be the least ordered, followed by American, followed by Chinese, and then finally Italian. Number 18. When Danny left Miami, Florida, it was 62 degrees Fahrenheit. When he arrived in Fargo, North Dakota, the temperature was -5 degrees. What was the difference, so that's our question, in the temperatures between Miami and Fargo? So we went from 62 all the way down to 0. That's a difference of 62 degrees. And then we went from 0 to -5. That's a difference of 5 degrees. So altogether, there was a difference of 67 degrees. Number 19. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to 5? Meaning we have to solve all of these expressions in order to figure out which equals 5. Same signs positive, different signs negative. So in this first example, these are the same signs giving us an answer of +5. In this next example, these are different signs, so we would have a -5. In the third one, we've got the same signs, +30 divided by +6 would give us +5. And then in this fourth one, we have different signs, giving us -50. So we're looking for the ones that are equivalent to 5. So that would be 1 and 3. So C would be the correct answer. And our final question, which equation represents the absolute value of -9? Remember that absolute value is always positive, so that automatically gets rid of choices B and C. And when you're showing the absolute value of a number, it is included in the bars. So that's why A is the correct choice. Make sure that you study tonight and that you are ready for your semester exam.